Susan Walsh, the classification guru. Welcome to the Data Strategy
Hi.
Show.
I am so excited to be on this. We have had this planned for months,
We
and it
have.
felt like such a long time away. And
Yes.
yet we met in September at Big Data
Yeah,
London, and that
that's
feels like
right.
yesterday. Time
It
is just
does.
flying
It
by. Yeah.
does. Well, we did do a small portion of 66 questions, but I think we're going to do the full gamut now and
Yeah.
get you on the spot
Let's do
for
it.
let's do it. Right. What is your wake up ritual?
I have a terrible one.
Okay.
Snooze button. I do
How
everything
many
they tell
times?
you. At least two or three. It's 10-minute
Okay.
snoozes. Then I get on my emails, my
Oh, yes.
LinkedIn, play
Yeah.
some Candy Crush,
Oh,
and then I get
yes.
up. Yeah, so it's about
So,
an hour in
so
bed before I get up.
what do you mean you don't do the 5 o'clock
I
and
know,
you're
can you
out of
believe
bed
it? Yeah.
and 20 20 20 of doing 20-minute bursts of this and that?
No, no, no.
What would you say is your biggest strength?
Determination.
Mm, wonderful strength.
Yeah.
What's the biggest learning experience you've had?
There's been so many. It's that it always gets better.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've been through a pretty low few months. It's been
Yeah,
challenging,
yeah.
and I always tell myself it will get better, and then there's points when you think it never will, and then it does.
Yes. Yes. Yep, we all go through those as entrepreneurs. Yep, that's
Yeah.
are there any hobbies that you will never give up?
Prosecco. Does that count as a hobby?
Well,
socializing with friends, I guess. Yeah. Or
what makes
Candy
you?
Crush. Candy Crush
Oh,
is
there you go. Candy
that's
Crush is your
my
go-to.
pure switch off,
Really?
zone out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many
Yeah.
hours a day do you
A lot.
really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you a statistic now that I learned from my daughter's school the other evening when the parents were invited to an e-safety meeting,
Oh.
and the the teacher that was delivering the session said to us, "Do you know?" And obviously, this is not for us now, but if we knew it, obviously, I have a child, so I have to think about these things. But a teenager spends an average of 7 hours a day in front of a screen, whether it be their mobile or
Yeah.
tablet. That equates to 22 years of their life.
Wow.
So you can imagine 22 years stuck in front of it. So that's what we're doing. I mean, it's just unbelievable,
Yeah.
isn't it? How
I
we've
do
got.
worry about the social skills of future
Mm,
generations.
yeah,
How
yeah.
are they going to sell to each other or, do business
They're probably through Roblox.
yeah.
Anyway, I digress. What makes you angry?
um Lying.
Yes, yes, that is incredible.
Yeah.
Uh, First memory of life. Do you have one?
Yeah. I broke my leg at about 18 months old.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, and you can remember that? Just the pain, or
Yeah.
is it like a
No,
no?
I have a memory of being my dad had me in his arm
Yes,
and I think a bike in the other, and he was going
yes.
down some stone steps and it was
Oh
raining and he slipped.
gosh.
So I
Oh,
kind of
oh my
have a vague
goodness.
memory of that, and then I have
Yeah.
a vague memory of being in the hospital as well.
Wow. Wow. That's
But fun
early.
fact, we
Yes.
call plaster cast stickies.
Stickies. Okay.
Stickies,
Oh,
yeah.
Stookies.
So
Stookies.
yeah, we
Yeah.
call them stickies. Yeah,
Uh-huh. Well, that's the first I've heard, but obviously lots of different ways to call things up in Scotland, isn't there?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
So
but you're not in Scotland now, are you?
no, no, I live
You
just outside London.
yes, yes, you're down in the big smoke, as they say.
I'm a southern softie now,
Yeah,
as my friends would
I'm
call
sure
me.
that's what they call you when you go
Yeah,
back. What are you most excited about these days?
still my business.
Yep,
Yeah, every day.
every
It's
day.
just so many opportunities to
Yeah,
do so many different amazing things. Yeah.
yes, it is incredible, isn't it? What's
And
the
that
best? Yeah.
potential of meeting Robbie one day, that
Oh
excites
yes,
me
for
too.
those people who can't see it, we have a big cardboard cutout of Robbie behind
Yeah.
Susan, and for those obviously who know Susan well, they know about her fascination.
But not a stalker, just
I didn't
almost,
mention
but
that
not
word.
quite.
That was you, not me.
Yeah.
And standing next to Robbie is the cardboard cutout, your cartoon character.
3D Susan, yeah.
3D Susan.
Yeah.
What's the best compliment you've ever received?
I'm inspirational.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's lovely. What is a cause that is important to you?
Mental health, I think, and
Mm-hmm.
also I do support the RNLI as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They do amazing work, don't they?
Oh,
Incredible.
unsung heroes.
Yeah, yeah, I know. What makes you smile the most?
Um, things that make me laugh, things that are
Okay.
funny.
Yeah, yeah. Do you have a secret talent? Now, a secret talent is things that people do not know. We've seen all of your videos, but
Probably nothing secret. Although I'm pretty good at building flat pack furniture. I do
oh
quite enjoy
yes,
that.
you
Yeah.
do. It's quite
Yeah.
meditative, isn't it?
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
I'm about to move shortly, so I'm
Okay.
excited about buying some new furniture so I can build it.
Well, we do have our own little
It's
secrets, don't we?
Yeah, it's like the real
Yeah.
life Candy Crush. It's that when you
Uh-huh.
really
Putting the
focus in on
pieces
the thing you're
together.
doing. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. If you weren't doing what you're doing now, what would you be doing?
that's really tough. I've thought about this before,
Uh-huh.
and I think I would be really miserable in some unhappy corporate job, still trying to find what I was good at,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
bumbling around.
Mm.
Although, I mean, I am on my second business, so potentially I would have found something else to do. But I certainly, yeah, I think I'd be a bit lost.
Is there something that you've always wanted to do, but you've never sort of um you know, branched out and thought, oh yeah, I can do that. I mean, I know what you're doing now is obviously very different from your first business, but is there ultimately something that would really, really make you feel good to get up in the mornings?
Just earning more money would be nice. Not have to worry about
That's
the
for all of
bills.
us.
That
That's
would be
for all
nice.
of
Yeah.
us.
Honestly, I can honestly say that
Yeah,
everything I'm doing now is what I want to be
what you want
doing.
to be doing.
Yeah,
That's
or
perfect.
what I want to do is in plans to be done. So
Yes, yeah. Okay. What are the three things that you can't live without?
Candy Crush.
Yes, I knew that was going to be the one.
um,
I was expecting it to be.
Crisps
Oh, crisps. Okay.
and probably
Yeah.
Prosecco.
Okay, perfect.
Actually, that's really bad. I should say my family as well.
Well, I mean, your family's always there, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, those are the three things. It's okay. They're not going to
Yeah.
disown you.
Yeah. Oh, they did that years ago. That's fine.
Okay, well, there you go. What fictional character would you want to be?
Wonder Woman.
Oh, what's the last show that you binge watched?
Oh, it was well, there's been a lot, but The Traitors, I think, it's really good.
The Traitors. I'm trying to think
On
what that.
BBC.
I don't know what that
Oh,
is.
if you want to watch the psychology of real people, it's amazing.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll have to. Oh, is that the oh, what's her name?
Claudia
Winkleman.
Winkleman.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Yes. Now, so I thought you were talking about a drama series, and I was thinking, what kind of drama series? Traitors. No, but it's a reality show, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's
it's
right. Yeah, yeah,
really
yeah.
good.
Okay, yeah. What's the most adventurous thing you've done in your life?
Oh, I mean, for me, it was within 6 weeks. I got asked to move from Scotland to down south
Mm-hmm.
and moved, not knowing anybody
Mm-hmm.
at all,
Mm-hmm.
not even having an office where I lived in Guildford where I worked. You know, at 22, I don't know
Yeah.
if I would do that now at 42.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're moving again, but hopefully yours
Well,
is going
yeah,
to be
just around the
around the
corner though.
corner.
It's a bit safer. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a big jump from Scotland to just outside, Guildford, just outside London. That
Oh,
is
I
quite a
was
massive.
so green around the ears,
Oh,
and
yes.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
different
you were
world.
22. Come on, give yourself a break. It's not,
I know, I know.
yeah. We
Oh,
don't know.
I wanted I wanted to be a sales director at 22 and was frustrated because I wasn't, I was just
Right.
too in a hurry to be
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
important,
Yep.
which actually now when
Yep.
I look back, it wasn't important at all.
Yeah.
It's not even what I
Yeah.
really wanted to do.
Yeah. yeah. But we have those things are fed to us, and
Yeah.
we're often compelled to do stuff that we don't want to do in the end. But we have to
When
go through
I
that, right?
Yeah, totally. I
Yeah.
think about all the young people now who come out of
Mm,
uni who have that belief that they can go and do whatever they want and they can
yeah.
change careers. When
Yeah.
I came out of uni, it was still you get a job and you get a job for
Correct.
life.
Yes.
Choose your
Yep.
lane and stick to it.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that
No,
freedom
things
is
have
is
changed
definitely special.
hugely. Yeah,
Yeah.
you really do see a change. Yeah, I mean, I'm a lot older than you, so it was even worse for me back then in uni. But anyway, um, how would you define yourself in 3 words?
Fierce, fun,
Hmm.
and determined.
What was the first one?
Fierce.
Oh, fierce. Okay, I
Yeah.
thought you said fears, and I thought, oh, that's a bit
No,
strange.
no.
Fierce. Okay. What's the biggest surprise you've had this year? I know it's only been a short year, but
The amount of projects that have rolled in the door in January.
oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Keeps you busy.
Yeah. It was getting a bit hairy for a while.
Yeah, well, that happens, doesn't it? You
Yeah.
build things up for so long, and then suddenly they all, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And
Ebbs and flows.
yes, yes, the or as it's appropriately called, feast and famine.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's good. That's good. Is there anything that is currently inspiring you in the data world right now?
Just the amount of women that are around,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
super intelligent women that have a
Mm-hmm.
platform now.
Mm.
And actually just that we are talking about data so much more than we did when I set my business up 5.5 years
Right.
ago.
Yeah.
It was a dirty little secret back then. It's now people talk about it, and people are using a lot more data as well.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's nice to see. I
Yep.
thought my business would be on a decline by now, but it's the other way around.
Mm-hmm. Oh, great. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Oh, now it's on the top of my head. First one was staff will be your biggest problem
Yep.
ever. Full
Yep.
stop. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's probably the best piece of advice I
Okay.
ever got. Yeah.
And did they tell you what to do about it? Or they just said,
No, I don't.
no, oh,
I
there you
think
go.
if there was,
You just have
if
to,
there's an answer to that,
yes,
some would be very rich
very,
out
very
there.
rich. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Do you have a pet peeve?
Yeah, it's laziness.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember the moment your career completely changed? You probably do, don't you?
Um, yeah, it was probably around the start of lockdown, actually.
Mm, mm,
Like doing all the
mm.
online stuff
Yes.
really raised my profile.
Yeah.
That's when it
Yeah.
started to really kick off.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic.
Yeah.
What makes you feel accomplished?
It's the satisfaction of winning a project or doing a good job.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
Mm-hmm.
more doing a good job and handing over something that is of high quality.
Yes. Yeah. And
That's
robust.
really
Yeah.
satisfying. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, true. What 3 words describe living in the UK?
Cold, fussy, and reserved.
Cold, fussy, and reserved. My goodness. um,
But that's the whole of the UK. If you just said Scotland,
well,
I
I
mean,
didn't
it's still
know.
cold. It's cold,
Yes.
damp, and
Yes.
chatty.
Chatty. Well, there you go. Fussy, chatty,
Yeah.
cold. Yeah. Okay. What's heavily played on your music playlist right now? And don't say it's
It's
obvious to me.
You know what? It's
It's
funnily
not
enough,
really.
I prefer to work to like dance tunes. So I listen to Kiss
Ah,
FM and
yeah, yeah,
Kistery
yeah,
and all the
yeah.
doof doof. Yeah.
It kind of gives you that. It keeps the rhythm going, and you feel
Yeah,
motivated, don't
and
you?
it's kind of there in the background, but you're not really
Yeah.
concentrating. It's not distracting you from everything
No.
else you got to
No.
do. Yeah.
True. True. What 3 things are at the top of your bucket list?
Meeting Robbie Williams,
Mm-hmm.
going to Bora Bora
Mm-hmm.
for a holiday,
Mm-hmm.
and actually eventually buying my own place.
Right. Yeah.
But that's not like a huge priority for me, like
Right.
it
But
might be for other
eventually, at
people.
some
Yeah,
point, yeah, 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 you want to get on that ladder, as they say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
day. One
One
day.
day. What book did you most recently finish?
I'm just gonna look away quite. I know I wrote a book, but do not. I don't
You don't
read. I
read?
really don't read.
Okay.
I'm so.
You're
You know
you're
what?
more
It's
of
really bad.
a sort of
I
video,
listen to
YouTube,
a lot of podcasts
podcast.
actually.
Right.
True. It's all
Okay.
true crime and
Oh,
murders
fantastic.
and yeah,
Oh, brilliant.
narcissists and
Oh, I
yeah,
love that.
yeah, nice good murder before bed. Yeah,
Is that a very Scottish thing to do? Because I know that
might
there's a
be.
really, really deep history of crime novels that have come from Scotland.
Yeah, I guess. I
Yeah,
guess we are
yeah,
fascinated by the
yeah.
dark.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
If you could go back in time, what would you tell your 16-year-old self?
Oh my goodness, so many things. Like you are way smarter than you think you are.
Yep.
Um, stick with computing,
Mm-hmm.
which was what it was known back then. I
Yes.
kind of I went to college and it wasn't an option there,
Mm-hmm.
but I'd always loved it, and I would have had to, I wouldn't swap it because I would have had a whole different path if I'd done that.
Sure, sure.
But yeah, that's now I realize that was my calling, and I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know at the time. I
Mm.
kind of ended up doing jobs I thought I should be doing rather than what I
Right.
really wanted to
What you
do.
really wanted to do, yeah.
Yeah.
If you could switch lives with one person for a day, who would it be?
Do they have to be living or dead, or can they
Up to
be
you.
anyone?
Up to you. Anyone.
I always say this answer now, and it's my gran.
Oh, right.
She
Yes. Yeah.
was she was a bit of an inspiration for me.
Yeah.
She got married at 39 in the
Mm-hmm.
50s, which was unheard of. She had a whole life before she
Mm.
settled down. And that must have been really tough back then because there was so much pressure to just be married and have kids.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I would have loved to just know what she did, where she went,
Yeah.
what fun she was having. Hopefully, she was having fun. Although, get this, she was a complete teetotaler. She
Oh,
never drank
really?
in her life.
Wow.
Yeah, she was
Wow.
like super.
But she
No,
was, yeah. I mean, it was
yeah,
rather taboo if you didn't get married by the age of 20,
yeah, yeah,
whatever in
yeah.
those. Yeah. So it's
So I
quite
think that's where I get
amazing.
some of my
Yeah.
stubbornness from. Yeah, my
Mm.
determination.
Good. Good. Um, what's one thing you've always wanted to try, but you just haven't got around to it?
Learning to code, actually.
Yeah.
I tried a little bit of Python
Mm-hmm.
a few years
Did you
ago.
enjoy it?
I did, but it was an online course and I got stuck, and then I didn't have anyone to ask. I like
Ah,
to have people to ask
yeah,
questions,
yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, I can kind of, it's weird. I can kind of look at code and understand it,
Mm-hmm.
even though I've
Mm-hmm.
not ever
Well, there's
written
a
any.
construct to it, isn't there?
Yeah,
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 and you can sort of, yeah, I think if you did, as you said, computing,
yeah.
sometimes you sort of have that, in your
Yeah, yeah.
brain.
Even
Yeah,
like last week, I had to learn to
yeah,
edit some HTML. I've never done that
yes,
before, but I could figure it out. So
yeah.
I guess I've just got that brain.
It was weird because I was looking at some SQL months ago, and I was reading it. I was thinking, oh yeah, this does that, this does that. And I thought, wow, I'm pretty geeky actually, and I'd
Yeah,
forgotten that I've still got this ability in my mind because I did coding years ago, but it was one of those I just dropped it. I said, you know what,
we
I
did.
can't do this.
Remember the BBC
Oh
computers? There was
yes,
some
yes,
on
I
there.
remember
Yeah.
ZX81s. That's yeah, I'm much older than you. Um, let's not talk about that. If you had to, oh no, yeah, if you had to change something in the world right now, what would it be?
It's the politicians, and I don't mean a specific person or a specific
Mm,
country, but
mm,
the people who are leading a lot of the countries are not there for the good of the people. They're there for their
yeah,
own self-serving
yeah,
purposes,
yeah.
and I would like to change that
Hmm.
because the reality is any smart, decent people would never go into politics because they know
Yes.
they'd get rammed and
Hmm.
railroaded.
Hmm. Hmm. Yep, it's a troubled time for
I was
politicians.
going to swear there, but I will refrain from doing
No,
that.
don't do that. Well, you can if you want, but
I
um,
have to preserve
you
an air
have
of grace around
a
me.
veneer. Yes. What's the one thing you wish you knew at the age of 19?
um, to be more confident in
Mm,
myself.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah.
Actually, I probably knew more than I realized I did. And
yeah, I think we do when we
yeah.
reflect. But I think the confidence bit is quite interesting that you say that. Yeah, because I have a daughter, and I you know, both my wife and I. My wife is extremely confident and, you know, very strong-willed. So I think it's something that, you know, all kids should have as well. So
Yeah,
confidence is a
definitely.
massive, you know, benefit to many.
I think now when people, you
Mm,
know, and because, you know, I have a platform and people might
mm,
say you're wrong, or, you know, and as a teenager, you'd be like, oh my God, I
yeah,
am
oh,
wrong.
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
no.
yeah.
Whereas now I'm like, I'm not wrong, you're wrong.
Yes, yeah,
But
yeah.
I think that that's just one of those things that comes with
With
age.
age, experience, maturity, all of that
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, and it doesn't mean to be, you know, the one thing when you're younger, I think it's more about knowing yourself and being confident in that as
Yeah,
well. More
actually,
so.
you know, I think one
Yeah.
thing I would say actually to anybody is
Mm,
mistakes are good when you're
yeah.
young.
Yep.
Mistakes are how we all learn. Like we
Yes.
don't get
Yeah.
better without making a lot
Yeah.
of
Yeah. Oh
mistakes.
gosh. Yeah.
And I probably should, yeah, to tell myself that as well.
Yeah. Brilliant. If you were, if you weren't living in the UK, where would you be living?
Some tropical island on just, yeah, small island, beach, sun, bar.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you could offer one piece of advice to upcoming data leaders, what would it be?
Find your niche
Mm-hmm.
and talk about that. And also actually, and probably more advice for new people too, but um there's such a focus for people to improve on the things they're not good at. But
Mm-hmm.
actually, I'm a really big fan of improving on the things you're good at and forgetting
Yes.
about the things you're not good at. Like for
Yep.
me, it's maths. I
Yep.
just can't do maths. I
Yeah.
tried and spent a lot of effort trying to get my higher grade maths.
Mm-hmm.
And you know
Mm-hmm.
what? I could have just done another subject and
That you were
been really
good
good
at.
at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think this is often one of those things that we're all petrified about, isn't it? That you know, we can't be all things to all people. You
Yeah.
know, and that's the point of having, you talked about it earlier. I think, you know, team is going to be the worst thing, but team can also be an amazing thing when you've got people who do things that you don't do, you know, which I
Yes.
think is, you
Different
know,
perspective. When you
yeah,
what you know what it is, it's having the right people. It's not
correct. Yeah. Yeah.
it's yeah, it's hard, you know, it's
Mm,
because it's not just a business fit, it's a personal fit
of
too.
course. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think sometimes that's overlooked actually,
Mm,
especially in
mm,
companies, you know, they're looking for who fits the job rather than who fits the team.
correct. Yeah.
And for me,
Yeah.
when I'm recruiting, it's more about attitude than skill, to be honest, because you can train people up, but you can't
You can.
change people's attitudes.
No, no. And you know, when I used to run teams in corporate, when I was you know, my time in corporate, which is for, you know, almost 20
We've all
years.
been on the dark side. It's okay. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
yeah. It was always getting people smarter than me. Honestly,
Yeah,
it's just,
it's
you
so
know,
true. Yeah.
it's I'm not the smartest one in the room, so,
No,
you
and
know.
I've one of my data analysts, I took him on as a Kickstarter
Mm-hmm.
and he can do way more than I
Mm,
ever could now.
mm, mm.
And it's so freeing, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, it is.
I
You're
don't
right.
feel threatened by it. I feel
No,
like he's
no.
helping me move the business forward.
Correct, correct. What's the best vacation you've ever taken?
Cuba.
Mm.
Oh,
When
love
was that?
Cuba. So I've been twice. Once was about must be about 6 years ago now,
Mm-hmm.
and one was about 9, 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I just would would kill to get back to that
Yeah,
place.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Don't don't kill.
Not when
You know.
actually, but yeah.
Um, what's the best lesson your parents ever taught you?
Um, I think high standards, like in
Mm,
terms of getting good grades and all that kind
mm-hmm,
of thing. It did really help me set a high bar for myself
mm-hmm,
and others
mm-hmm,
around me.
mm-hmm. Fantastic. What's your favorite food?
I mean, I've already said crisps. It's not really a food
Yes.
though, is it?
No. It's a snack.
A Five Guys burger is just
Yeah.
my
Is there
yeah.
any specific one?
What's my because you customize them, so it's
Oh,
my
do you?
customized one. Yeah.
So,
Mm.
oh, can you give that secret away?
It's just cheese, mayo, ketchup, raw onions, and lettuce.
Oh,
It's
raw
just, and it's
onions.
just,
I love that. I love
yeah,
onions.
yeah.
Mm. Now, you mentioned that you love to listen to podcasts. So out of those crime podcasts, which one is your favorite?
It's called Crime Junkie.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a really good one. And then there's also and the psychology of this fascinates me. It's
Yeah.
called Something Was Wrong.
Okay, I'm writing these down so that
Really good. And if you want something completely off the wall, hilarious and fun, then I'd recommend My Dad Wrote a Porno. Which is after 7, 8 years is now
Oh,
has come to an end. I only
oh,
discovered it a couple of years ago, and
fantastic.
honestly, you will be roaring with
Yeah,
laughter.
yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
bad it's good.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I've given myself a bit of a goal to listen to more just non-technical podcasts this year
Yeah,
because you can get carried away with listening to too many
I
technical things.
genuinely feel like during the working day, and some days my days are 14 days,
Mm,
my head is so full of business stuff.
yeah,
Like when
yeah,
I have that downtime, I don't want to listen to
yeah.
procurement or data
True,
stuff. I want
true.
to just
Just
escapism.
chill out. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, I agree. What's a movie that made you cry?
Um, Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet.
Mm-hmm. What, if you can, what can you see from your window right now?
I can see um, the other side of the block of flats that I live in
Mm-hmm.
and my
Mm-hmm.
balcony with a table and two chairs
Very nice.
and some
And
pigeon poop on the
oh
table.
gosh, that's the worst thing, isn't it?
I have my dad told me
Mm-hmm.
I've got like little windmills on the chairs, and it
Right.
has significantly reduced the number of
Oh, the amount
birds
of
that, yeah,
yeah,
as long as it's
yeah.
windy, it keeps them
Yes.
away.
Oh, brilliant. Good little tip. A good
Yeah.
hack, as they would say.
Yeah.
Um, what's something that you still have or possess from your childhood?
I've got like some jewelry. I've got the band from hospital
Oh,
when I was
really? Yeah,
born.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And some
Yeah.
cuddly toys as well.
Oh, wonderful. What's a data trend that you would like to see disappear?
I think it's the buzzwords.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
The buzzwords.
Yes, the buzzwords,
Yeah.
the constant barrage of those, and the new ones that will no doubt soon be coming.
Yeah, and it's all the same thing.
It is. It is. It's just the marketing spin.
Repackaged. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What's a superpower you wish you had?
I'd love to fly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
soar above above the rooftops and
Yeah. Although I think
yeah.
invisibility would come a close second
Oh,
because you could then hear what
yes.
people are saying about you.
About you. I
Yeah.
see. I see that. Oh, okay. It tells me a little bit more about your psychology. What's something you don't want to be doing in 10 years' time?
um, Probably exactly the same as I am right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'd
Mm,
like to think that the business would be running
yeah.
without me. I'd
Mm-hmm.
just be there to oversee,
Mm-hmm.
and that I'll be cruising the world in my private yacht. No,
Oh, wonderful.
just have some like a better work life balance.
Yes.
I say
Yeah.
that, but the truth is, I think, oh, wouldn't it be great to just like win the lottery? See, if I won the lottery, I'd still want to work. I would still,
Yes, but
I am
you'd
not
take it easy a little bit. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not that kind of person that
We'll take your foot off the gas.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll always
Yeah.
find something. Yeah. I'd
I know
probably
what you
just start
mean.
another business.
Yeah. Yeah. Which movie makes you laugh the hardest?
Anchorman.
I come on, fantastic.
Yeah.
Looking back on your life, is there anything you would have done differently?
I have to say no because it's made me the
Mm-hmm.
person that I am.
Mm-hmm.
And if you take any one of those things out, it
Yeah.
would completely change everything.
Mm-hmm.
So everything's a learning experience.
Exactly. Yeah, agreed. If you could teach one subject in school or college or university, what would it be?
Life skills like banking and finance
Okay.
and how to manage a household and stuff
Mm-hmm.
and just how to survive life. I'll never forget graduating from uni and suddenly the council's like, you owe us council tax and you need this and you need that. I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't all this stuff is. This is responsibility. I don't have a
Yes.
job.
Yeah.
It was like, you finished and that's it. Suddenly you're a paying member of society and you need to
You
give us
are.
money.
Yeah. And there was me thinking it was going to be the life and music of Robbie.
Through dance interpretation.
Oh, there you
No.
go. Could be a new course. What
Yeah.
three words best describe your leadership style?
Open, honest, and fun.
Mm. What are currently your top 3 data challenges or your clients' 3 data challenges? What would you say they are?
It's the first is getting budget
Mm-hmm.
from the business to
Yep.
fix the data.
Yep.
The second for me is having to go up against larger consultancies
Mm-hmm.
with a better proposition, a
Yep.
better price,
Yep.
and losing out.
Yes.
And the third is, because of those things, I have lost out to a couple of projects where it's mainly procurement people that are my clients.
Mm-hmm.
They've gone with someone who will do the data classification, the analytics,
Yeah.
and the purchasing.
Yeah.
And you can't find someone that's good at all those 3 things. You really need to silo and get an expert for that, and I think what quite often happens is the consultant will come in and go, oh, we'll classify your data for free and we'll do the analytics and charge you for that instead. And nothing is ever free. There's always a cost to it.
It's always a cost. Yep, you're absolutely right. What's the one thing that you had to learn the hard way?
To accept failure. When my first business was a shop, and I knew for months before I closed it down that I should have closed it down, but I just wanted to keep trying.
Yeah.
And ultimately that led to bankruptcy, which was actually like one of the best things that happened at the time, and I learned so much from it. But yeah, it's made me
tough moments
much more
but
it's made me much more open to failure now and accepting it and knowing when to pull the plug.
Yes. Yeah. How do you handle pressure in your career?
Not well.
Yes, there are moments and days, I'm sure.
I get flappy, snappy. My head feels like it's going to explode. And something I did learn actually is, one of those emails comes in that makes you so angry.
Yes.
Like, sleep on it or go away for 2 hours, reread the email and come back to it. Don't ever respond straight away.
Immediately.
It's never a good idea.
Worst thing. No, not that initial trigger finger. It will get you into a lot of trouble. What's something you notice about someone when you first meet them?
I can kind of sense if they're a good or a bad person. That sounds a bit kind of like weird, I guess. It's not like a tangible thing, but I can normally read pretty much straight away if they're authentic. Not saying I say
if you're going to trust them or not. Yeah. It's a similar knack that I have. What's something that you still like to learn?
Well, like I said, I did some HTML last week. I've had to learn some video editing. I am learning every day about how to run a business and how to run a business better.
Yes.
If I wasn't learning something new every day, I would be so bored.
Yes. Yep. And my final question to you, Susan, what would you like to be remembered for?
Bringing joy to people.
Wonderful. Well, Susan,
I can't believe that's it. We did it.
That's it. Yes. What do you think? I think everybody thinks it's going to be this arduous thing about, oh my God, 66 questions. But actually, it goes very quickly, doesn't it?
It does. It goes so quickly. Yeah.
Well, look, thank you so much. I've had such a good time chatting to you.
Yeah, I love those questions. Great questions.
Great. Well, look, enjoy the rest of your day and your weekend.
Woohoo,
the weekend is upon us.
Yes.
And thank you so much. Take care.
Thanks.